Hey guys, it's Cloudglidder again, and I apologize for the long break. College has started for me. It's been super busy. But yeah, I'm back today with another video, and this one is pretty special. We have a guest with us today. Vouch, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Vouchful and I'm a player on the Tempest team in Polychampions. Alright,
So
cool.
today we have a Shin Dry Large map for you, which is one of my favorite matchups. This game goes pretty late, and we both go markets, we both go knights, we both go Smithery, of course. And yeah, so Vouch, would you like to share some thoughts on your spawn here?
Um, so it's a live game, so there's no bonus in the first place. The first thing I see is to just walk towards the corner mountains and to try to look for what resources my C2 has. So the density is a bit poor at the start if you're walking towards the middle, but I think it's fine later on.
Yeah, it does look like you have these two animals, which normally are great indicators, but well, they kind of lied. There's nothing here. There is this ruin. On the other hand, for me, this is absolutely great. I step onto this mountain and I see this level 5 forge. I don't know if I need to border growth for this yet, but I'm seeing this. This is beautiful. Density is pretty great early on. There's a random empty corner with one ruin, and all the ruins on this map are right here. There's one, two, three, four, five ruins just on this side of the map. I think I get these four, and I guess Vouch gets these four as well. But then I have
3,
this
yeah.
fifth one here. I
Oh
actually
yeah, those
don't.
4.
No, I do get this one. I do get this one because I remember going to get the lighthouse. Autofocus is making it lag. But yeah, so this was a live game, so any mistakes that you see were due to, well, had a factor of time pressure factored in to an extent. I think I took some screenshots at certain snapshots at certain moments in the game, and I think the time pressure affected one of us more than the other, unfortunately.
I mean, I did have like the time bank. I think I had like less cities, I'm not sure if it added up or whether I was just taking slower.
I think there were times where like I had 10 minutes on the clock and you had like 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to build up my time bank, so yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. Cool. So our openings are both pretty standard. We both go for double warrior. Wow, here you're seeing three villages, which is pretty nice. I do go for mining first tech, which if I had hunting, it would have been a lot smoother of an opening. But because the city only had one animal, the city had no animals, I was kind of forced to go for mining since it was the only tech that allowed me to upgrade two cities at once.
I also go for mining here because my C2 only has a mine inside and only one animal. So I don't really have a choice either.
Yeah, you do have this city with two mines as well, so you do have a level 3 forge spot right off the bat without needing to chop. But yeah, level 3
Yeah.
forge spot is not as good as level 5, although I do need to chop for that. Ooh, an early explorer ruin. Does it meet me? Ooh, it
It
does
does.
meet
It
me.
allows me to get a
Nice.
mine.
Okay, that early workshop is pretty good. Allows you to train another warrior as well. For me, I made kind of an interesting decision. Rather than getting a workshop early on, I decide to train another warrior. This is because I see that these two villages are here, and if you just look at my vision, oh, I did turn off shared fog. I have no idea where Vouchful is at this moment. So I'm thinking if he spawned close by here or and he's moving towards these villages, it could be contested. If he spawned like somewhere and he's trying to go for middle and cut me off, I also need units to contest it. So I decide to delay my workshop by one turn, I believe, because 4 stars per turn and currently 2 stars saved up. So I can snag these villages quicker and not be just stuck on 3 villages. Oh, let me go back to auto. This stuff is pretty standard. Now I'm starting to get some eco, get some upgrades, go for an explorer here. I did shape this explorer, which is why I decided to fire it off when I did. Oh, early smithery. Can you explain this much?
But I get Smith pre-cap here because I know that I have the level 3 forge incoming,
Mm,
and I can't really upgrade anything else past level 2. So with the level 3 forge, I felt that it was worth it, and
mm.
so I just went for that.
I see. I think
I think it
in
did pay
your
off because the early swordsmen as well. Because I saw you and I thought that I could use the swordsman to contest the center villages which were further away from me.
I see.
So if you
So
see
here
my
you do
vision
have
here,
vision, but we
I
are pretty
can
far apart. I think in your situation, I would have opted for hunting. So then you could upgrade this to level 3, upgrade this to level 3. This you don't really
mm,
know yet. This you can't really upgrade yet. But I just feel like
yeah,
Smithery at this point is a little bit more aggressive, and you only really have one forge spot that you can use unchopped.
yeah.
Oh, you need to go back to auto. Sure view. Getting some workshops, nice. Ecoing up. Well, I guess with is that a no? Because this only gives 2 pop, 3 pop, so you're still a little bit short of a giant. Here I go for hunting, so I can upgrade a good amount of my cities to level 3. I go for an explorer here, which normally I wouldn't do just because it's like so far on the edge. But because of this ruin right here, I didn't want this to give me an explorer ruin. So I decided let me get an explorer here. So hopefully this ruin gives me something nice. Unfortunately, it gives me a swordsman, and if my opponent was nearby here, I'd be pretty happy, but he is not. He is all the way in the opposite corner, way up here. And this is the first of many, many, many veteran swordsmen you're gonna see in this map.
Yeah, whose fault is that actually?
Part of it is from my misplays, but part of it is just terrible ruin luck. I think I got 3 or 4 veteran swordsman ruins. Here I'm getting even more resources, getting some more upgrades. I moved this warrior back here so I can fire off an explorer and hopefully get vision. And it does reveal some decent vision. It gets me the lighthouse. So here the swordsmen are advancing, but as you can see, the swordsmen were trained last turn. They moved 1 tile this turn. They'll need to move 2 more tiles before they can really do any attacking, which is why I feel like they were too slow.
But you also do realize that if I wanted that city, I could have captured it, basically,
Yeah,
in
but
several moments from,
if it
yeah,
was a surprise attack, I think it would have been a lot more valuable, or if this city had better resources, it would have been more valuable. But because
yeah.
I saw your attack coming from a mile away, you know what happens. I just chop all of it and I just leave the city for you on a silver platter. You never take it, which is smart, but yeah, it's just not worth very much to either of us at that point. You do siege it from time to time, but you just never decide to take it.
I don't want it. Like, you gotta do
The
for me.
poor city, man. What did it do to you? You could still workshop. You could take those 2 fruits and workshop it. I can't chop those 2 fruit. Here I see another ruin. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of ruins. I get a writing ruin, which is pretty big considering this is a large map and writers have a lot of mobility. Although I would say this is pretty late in the game to be going writing just because the cities are mostly like split and clear and there's not a lot of contesting to be done. Here I pick up
I
my
mean, writing
first
just get you
park.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. You also got a park here, I believe, right?
Yes, later on.
Later on, not yet. So Vouch gets his first level 5 reward. He picks a giant, whereas I pick a park. And what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that you should have gone for a park? Do you think that I should have gone for a giant? Do you think that both of it was good, or what do you think?
I think both of it is good. Like I have a front city. Obviously, I'm going to a giant, and you have a really far back city, so you would go for a park. And I do the same principle for my back cities later on, where I get parks for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. So because your city is frontline, like your capital is really exposed. It's right here, and you can really quickly like one, two, three, send it to the front line to threaten my city. For me, my capital is way back here. If I want to send it to threaten your city, that's one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9 tiles of movement before I even get there. Even with roads, that's 5 turns. So I decide I'm not going roads right now. I don't need a giant to really defend or attack right now. I'm gonna get the park to eco up. And here I see the two swordsmen. I'm like, you can take a city with no resources. I'll chop everything. You can have it. And then I'm also doing some upgrades. This corner was so good. I was like, I really want these two cities, but I know you have swordsmen, so it's gonna be really hard for me to make a play on it. And from the riding ruin, I do train some riders. There's the siege I was expecting, and you kill another warrior, so you're starting to get a little bit of value from the swordsman, which is pretty good.
I think those two swordsmen get a lot of value in this game, actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Because I think they both vet.
they both bet, yeah. 'Cause at this stage, I just don't have anything to deal with it. I also was a little bit sloppy. I feel like if I retreated units in a better way, they could have not been vetted. Here, I decided to chop this forest just because I see that he's going for this village, and I'm thinking if I can move this guy 2 tiles, and then 2 tiles again, and this guy 2 tiles, and 2 tiles again, I can knock him off this village, which is why I chopped here, even though it seems like kind of random, but I'm also setting up some thinking about trade already here. I'm seeing this is a level 5 forge spot, this is level 3, so right here is a level 8 trade spot. Math here. Interesting. I was wondering why you went math. I thought it was from a ruin or something.
It was from a ruin.
Oh, it was from okay, okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense. That's a pretty nice ruin.
And
But yeah, combined we basically have full vision of the map. Here I had to spend all my stars clearing this siege, popping this giant. I was not happy I had to do this. Now this is the second kill, right? Is it the second or third kill? Second kill for this 11 HP? No, that is the third kill. So that is the first veteran of this game. Very clean play by Vouch. Border growth, okay. Back city border growths tend to be safer than front city. Getting another park. Here the giant is zone of controlling me, so I can't really knock him off. I actually also messed up a little bit with my rider placement. If I wanted to knock him off, I needed to place one rider here and one rider here so they can both move through these two clear tiles to hit him. But since the giant is zone of controlling, even if I hadn't messed up the movement, I would not have been able to knock him off that city, unfortunately. There's my big old level 5 forge. And even after the giant, there's still 4 more excess population. So with 2 fruit, I can get another giant if I want to. And this turn, I have a lot of stars. I already went smithery, and I'm just pumping out as many giants as I can. Vouch did go a little bit more aggressive and he went catapults. So I'm kind of forced to defend a little bit, which is why I'm spamming so many giants and keeping them back so that when he pushes into me, I can fight back and not just blunder all my cities. I'm continuing to get some parks in my capital just because it's still really far from the front line. And here is the second veteran, really getting a lot of value from the swordsman. So those swordsmen kind of ensure that I can't really go for fragile units that are like, or glass cannon units like catapults or archers, where they get a lot of value, they do good damage, but they're ranged units, so if you get up close and personal with them, they just die. So here I'm
So
starting to
I
take clear of
bought a
them.
grove here because I know that I'll lose the city, the village. So I'm blocking off the resources.
Yeah, I hated seeing this so much. In the live game, I was like, please, please take pop growth, please take pop growth. And then when I saw the border fill, I was like, God. Yeah, this was a good play by Vouch. It is a front city, so if I was going cloaks, this city would have been really nice for me to hit. But unfortunately, we don't get any cloak action this game. And here I'm setting up another trade spot, and I go archery because I'm seeing you're starting to push in. You have a lot of catapults. I'm actually a little curious why you went so many catapults. I was not expecting this
I,
many.
s- I saw the giant, but I think I might have overdone the catapults, to be honest.
Yeah, just because there were too many catapults and no like units in front of them. So I was able to just road in archers and just snipe the catapults off one by one. So you weren't able to get as much value out of them.
Yeah.
And this is now the second time this level 1 city is unbreakable siege. I actually mess up hit order a little bit here, but luckily I could afford roads and unsiege. Here I was really hoping to get this lighthouse. From my perspective, I have these 3 lighthouses, and if I just get one more, I can get Eye of God. And it would actually save
Mhm.
me a lot of stars because I'm wanting to border growth this city because I'm seeing that even with these resources cut off from me, if I border growth, I can still like double, maybe even triple giant depending on how many monuments I commit to it. So if I can get this one, I can place my killer monument, chop once, place the Eye of God, get this animal, border growth, and get some giants. However, the Explorer does not give me these 2 tiles, so I end up having to use my roads to connect 5 cities, get my roads monument, and then get this border growth, which is really expensive. Catapult's getting some decent value, killing a giant, and he Vouch decides to not take the city once again. The siege. Now tell me about this position. How do you feel at like this point in the game?
I I think the point the turning point of the game was really when I was unable to capture the other city. When I committed the giant to it and I didn't manage to capture it,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was turning against me at that point. Like once that was unsieged, the game was
Hmm.
kind of over, to be honest.
Okay,
Like
let
that
me
was the turning
see
point.
from your perspective. So here I cleared the siege. You do see that I have a bunch of units here getting ready to prepare the siege, but it is a live game, so you can't really calculate exactly how much damage each unit would do and if I have enough to unsiege.
No, this is after you clear the siege. You go before. It looks much more promising. Like one turn before.
Ah, yeah, here you're having 2 sieges. It does look pretty good. The units are low. This is a 28 HP giant, but you're missing a lot of vision here. If you had vision, you would see that I have other units. I have a swordsman, more archers ready to take it out. Yeah, I do see what you mean. Yeah, at this position, it's looking pretty good. I am wondering if it would have been worth it for you to capture this city just so you can at least get an explorer and see more of what I'm up to. But yeah, not having vision in this entire chunk is quite scary.
Possibly, but I think like the calculus there was I could kill one of your giants for free, or
Hmm.
I could, or I could, or I could get this level 1 city and then get hit by 2 giants
Yeah,
and
that's
lose my
true.
giant.
Yeah. I'm thinking like maybe you should have captured it when you had the 2 swordsmen just so you could have a base here that you can safely train swordsmen out of.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. But yeah, you do kill another giant. But yeah, here you're definitely still on the offense. Blocking this resource tile made the border growth quite expensive for me. I'm actually thinking that before you gianted, you could have trained some swordsmen and pushed them, just so your catapults have more units to hide behind. I think this turn I
Mhm.
start hitting the catapults. Yeah. Yeah, actually kill one of them this turn. And then here I'm roading everything together. Tempest auto. Otherwise it looks like I have 0 stars. But here I finally get the border growth and I double giant out of the city, and I'm seeing that if I road connect this and get all these forests and this mine, I actually have a third giant since I've committed these two monuments to it. But this city, even with its with these tiles cut off here, was really valuable to me. And here's when trade comes out. Trade was insane this game. Oh, here's a third veteran swordsman I got. One, two. I believe the first one is already dead.
Yeah.
But yeah. Veteran swordsman ruins are normally not terrible, but when they're so far back and it's so late in the game, they don't do too much for you. Yeah, here you're just getting your income as high as possible. Yeah, the math and forge combo really gets you very valuable markets. Here I ended up leaving a city open because I wanted to place my markets, and I got sieged because of it. I do clear the siege pretty easily, so it wasn't terrible, but yeah. There's, I believe I'm getting the third giant out of that city. I get more parks. So I'm making 72 stars per turn with just 2 markets. I get border growth since I'm thinking that this game is going to last a long time. And if I get border growth, I have access to more resources and I can play into higher giant potential later on if I plant forests, burn them, get farming, construction, things like that. Here we see knights. I was not expecting to see knights this early. Well, I guess it's not early anymore, but I was not expecting to see knights at this point in the game, actually.
I mean, right now my biggest problem is your archers, and therefore my only solution to your archers is knights. And I have unlimited money. So I have two options, two macro options. I can go into cloaks, which your larger unit number will stop anyway, or I can try to scare off and break apart your units by knights. And you see that I don't attempt to hide it. I train in my two front cities because I just assume you have full vision. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want to break apart your units
Yeah, at this
away
point
from my
we
catapults.
combined have full vision. Here I do get a siege. I'm thinking that even though you have a lot of units, I was hoping I could overwhelm you. It did not work out well, but yeah. I finally get orc here, so I can get some more giants, kill some more catapults. Here I'm actually also thinking about knights, just because your catapults and you don't have that many units. So worst case scenario, I use them as high damage units to just kill your giants. Best case scenario, I can chain some other knights and catapults. But yeah, here I'm thinking I'll eco up for a bit, see what he does, and then I'll make final decisions later because I don't want to commit too much to such an expensive tech. But yeah, those catapults are doing some good work here. Here I was a little confused why you went that way instead of hitting my giant. Let me see what your vision
Have a
is like.
misplay. Had no time.
Oh wait, you had great vision. Wait, what?
I have great vision. Actually, my vision wasn't that good, I think.
Wait, did the fog just
You just turn
disappear?
fog off because no one has.
I did turn fog off. I apologize. Wait, but you did have vision, so you could have, yeah, gone for the giant hit. This was 3 unit chain, getting to a veteran, nice. Yeah, here we're making so many stars that we don't need the park anymore. I do think that the
Yeah.
catapults in the back line are a little bit too excessive. I think they will take too long to get to the front line and won't really do as much. I think if you trained other units like swordsmen in the front, knights in the back, or maybe archers or riders, it would have been a better unit composition. Just
So
because,
the city up north, that catapult never gets any value, but the one at the other back city gets value instantly because you walk your giant right into it.
that's true. All right. I did have vision on it, but I was trying to push you back or force you to move your catapult away so I could target the city better. But yeah, you just kill the giant, and then you get great value out of this one. I actually thought about disbanding this giant here, but I decided against it. Oh, what happened? My bad. Yeah, this is, I think, the biggest chain of the game. Here I'm just picking off units. You left this very juicy siege for me. I was very happy to see it. And now I'm
Slight
actually
mistake.
starting to take more giants in the back as well, so I can roll them up and still have a threatening front line. And I go knights myself here, and I train 2 knights. What I trained 2 knights for, one of which right here was because I saw this juicy chain right here. 3 catapults into 2 knights, one of which I can only finish off one of them, but yeah, I was hoping he would leave that for me, but unfortunately he knew better than yeah.
I'm aware that you have probably knights at this point, so I'm breaking my chains
Yeah,
to two
makes
units to
sense.
3 units.
Here my knight actually does not reach by itself, so I first do some other micro movements, break up some small chains, and I have to block these 2 tiles and then use math to push my knight onto this tile, and then it reaches and I can get this chain. Yeah,
And so
here
I
I'm trying
think
to be
I
careful.
choose a surrender
Yeah, at this point.
because because my last macro play really is like the last option left really is to go cloaks, and if you have knights, there's not much I can do anyway. So
Hmm.
it's just basically city advantage, which you do have. So I think my mistakes really was losing the city at the side, not expanding fast,
Yeah, I
and
think you did get a little bit
possibly
unlucky
maybe I
with
could have
map
captured
split.
Chaya.
Yeah, you did get a little unlucky with how the map was split in that even though your city was like really far out, your distance to these other cities was just really far. Like you stepped on this mountain and you saw absolutely nothing, just barren land everywhere. So that
Yeah,
forced you to expand backwards. I think maybe if you went riders earlier, you could have maybe potentially snagged a city or two from me. Maybe taking this city earlier would have made a difference. But yeah, at the late game, when you're down cities, when both your opponent and you have insane eco, you really have to play aggressively to try to turn the tides around to take a city in order to make anything happen. But yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
good
well,
game.
thank
And
you for the game.
yeah,
I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.